Welcome back to HOI4. If you watched the last series on Romania, I declared at the start that my intention was to rebuild the Roman Empire from Romania. That didn't go well, in no small part, because Romania, being a minor nation, tends to get screwed over by the bigger powers. In that case, Germany. So now, starting over is Italy. I've set the same goal for myself. I'm going to reconquer the Roman Empire. I'm going to take it a little bit further than normal. I'm going to take Germany, Austria, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, Turkey, and then all of this. All of North Africa, Spain, Portugal, France, Switzerland, the Low Countries, and the United Kingdom. And that will give me, more or less, the Roman Empire. To be accurate, I probably need to take Iraq, and at their extent, they did have Crimea, so might have to go further. But at best, my goal is to take the Mediterranean, rebuild the Roman Empire. At that point, I will consider it a success. If I go past that, if I continue on and I conquer the rest of the world, so be it. Now, Italy's an interesting start. We will very shortly, if not already, yes, we are already at war with Ethiopia. So our first order of business is dealing with Ethiopia. And the simple thing to do with Ethiopia is to just take the troops you got, send them in. Might as well give them someone. I will have to go through all of these troops at some point and rebuild them, making them more useful for the long term. But for the fight in Ethiopia, they will do just fine. Alright, let's switch back to here. Now, normal start. The guys who are in East Africa can stay together. Everyone else gets to go away. I will rebuild my Air Corps later. Sicily. Eritrea should be, yes, that's the one that I've got. Right, good. So our Air Corps is done. Second, Italy has a rather sizable, if spread out, navy. So what I'm going to do, merge all of them, send them here. To win the naval war, I need carriers. Plain and simple. I do not need submarines. I do not need battleships. I don't need heavy cruisers. All I need is aircraft carriers, light cruisers, and destroyers. So that's what I'm going to build. And I'm going to take every other ship in the Italian Navy, and I'm going to scuttle it. Because doing so, bad move, doing so will buy me manpower. And manpower is something I will need. Another thing that I have to do as the Italians is I have to make sure my Air Force is up to date. I really need better armor. Ooh, I've already got support weapons going, so we're not going to do better armor. We are going to do factories. And I'm going to need oil. So that's going to get my basic tech going. Why do I keep doing that? That's the button I want. Again, better weapons for my infantry. I have lots of them right now, might as well use them. I definitely need better aircraft, as we have seen over and over and over again. Romania, I fought without tanks and won, though got screwed out of my winnings by the Germans. As Holland, Netherlands, I took Belgium, and I held against the Germans for a while. I just could not match them with aircraft, and I had no tanks. As Germany, I conquered. Over and over, I won without tanks because I had aircraft. So, aircraft are the key. That's what I'm going to use to win this. Aircraft, and this time, I might use tanks because I actually have the capability to produce them. Italy, because of what's going to happen in Africa, and because of my need for infrastructure in Africa to make sure that my troops stay supplied, I am going to go overboard, especially in what I control. And I am going to make sure that I have plenty of dockyards. Nope, there. So that I can get tons of supplies through. And I'm going to make sure I have lots and lots of places to funnel resources out of Italy. And then I'm going to build some factories. I'm going to leave a spot open here, and a spot open there, and there, for oil. Alright, now I've got spots open on all of those territories for oil. We will start. The infrastructure will be fast, but I need production, so I'm going to bump that to the top to max out my production, and hopefully I can get some factories back and start the infrastructure with my excess factories. So we'll come back to that. Factories proper. As I said, no battleships. Goodbye. No battleships. Light cruisers, destroyers, and transports. That is all I need for now. I will get more later. Let's set up our queue so that we prioritize things correctly. Because of the difference in production speeds, I need more shipyards for light cruisers to maintain production equal to my destroyers. Convoys, I'm not terribly concerned about. Most of my resources are going to be coming from this region. Anyhow, the only thing I'm going to need from outside of here is rubber, and I'm going to make up for the lack of rubber in this region with synthetic production, which I'm going to get from that tech that I did. Aircraft. Forget close air support. I want fighters. Second aircraft. I want tactical bombers. Close air support is great, but it is not as versatile or as long-legged as standard bombers, TAC bombers. Strategic bombers are only good if you're trying to break somebody's infrastructure or their civilian morale. I am trying to do neither. I want to break their armies in the field and overrun them. Last thing I'm going to need here, not a tank, but an artillery. I have 3 more factories, which are going to go right into guns and here. Now, I need 19 oil and 6 rubber. So, let's get it. Okay. So, in here, if I do the Triumph in Africa soon enough and get Nationalist Spain on my side, I can demand the Balearics. However, since I'm trying to conquer all of the Mediterranean, I don't want any of this, unless it gets me territory. So I'm going to ignore it. Instead, I'm going to go for this extra research slot, which means going right down this. So, let's start. No divisions in basic. We'll come back to that. Available planes is fine. Alright. I don't want colonial divisions. I will get rid of them in the long run. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the experience I gain from fighting here to rebuild my cavalry division. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand it out to 6 cav, add some artillery and other support, and then, actually I may make it 9 cav. And it's close enough to an infantry division, faster, and I think with slightly less supply need. Let's see, where is it in there? Supply use is up by 0.07. Up by 0.12. So no, cavalry will use more supply. Actually, that makes sense because the cav are going to be the horses. But if I were to go in and put in an armored division, it's 0.2. Or if I were to put in a motorized division, that is less than a cav. That's interesting. Better heart attack. Okay, let's see. 35, 110, 15. 35, 110, 15. 35, 110, 15. All the same. HP is 125, 68.30. I'm not going to remember that. 125, 68.3. 125. Better organization. Better suppression, maybe? Nope, better suppression here. I'm going to go with Cav. Heavier units will require more transports to ship and perform invasions effectively. Piercing of 4. The better organization will make it worth the supply use, especially since it's only 0.01 more for the Cav. So that's what we'll do. Alright, now that we've verified that, we're going to stick with the Cav. We will probably get rid of the tank divisions altogether, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my infantry divisions, and I'm going to add a single armor battalion, which will actually make them far, far harder to kill, and I can later upgrade this to a medium tank. Currently, let's get some divisions training. And 4, 5, 6. That was silly. Okay. There. Alright, let's get our armies organized. Cav, I want you down here. Infantry, go up there. You down here. You, and you can join an army. You and you can join an army. Am I missing anyone? You two can join that army and go over that way. You two can join an army and defend. Just defend. The way it's not aggressive. Okay. You, new theater. We're going to make you Africa. And you are going to be Europe. Okay. You go there. Let's make you bright orange, dark orange. Let's make you that. Alright, now I can tell everybody apart clearly. Good. So our plans are set for Ethiopia. Our armies are organized up here. We are going to have them train and man that front. We are going to have them man this front, train, and general. Alright, let's go. Let's get this show on the road. 15 minutes in and I haven't even unpaused the game intentionally. Okay. Africa is falling, or Ethiopia is falling. Our troops are already in position against the Yugoslav border, which, honestly, we don't stand a chance right now. We do not have enough troops. We're going to have to get more. I don't have close air support. I don't care. I don't want close air support. Factories. Okay, let's keep moving. All right. You know what? Let's accelerate things. Go aggressive, guys. Go aggressive. Just hammer into them. Let's end this fast. I need to win quickly. Well, that's why I was hoping to go in quickly, but now it looks like Spain's going to be done before I can get in. Well, that's that, I guess. Spain will do what Spain does. Now, you hit here to cut them off. Keep them off balance. Good. Ethiopia fell. Excellent. Alright. Let's take these divisions. We're going to turn you into Cav. And you are going to join that army. And, yep, let's make them all Cav. Nope. Cav. And you 14, Cav. Because that's what I want. You guys, front line there. And now we can get rid of these squadrons, which will stop those pesky notices about close air support not being produced. Don't care. Okay. Let's give them a general. Put them to training. Put them to training. Our fleet is here. We're going to split off all submarines and disband them. We're going to split off all battleships and disband them. And we'll disband all of the heavy cruisers. We'll keep the light cruisers and destroyers. They can be useful. Right. We now have more troops in Africa than Europe. I need to turn that sound down a bit. But we'll get that in a sec. Let's do our next tier of research. I need my recon companies. Those guys are just too useful. Let's switch over to Europe. Orange needs its guy. And let's plan the first piece of this war. Okay. Alright, divisions of training. Experience is growing, research is going. Alright. What do I need to do to keep myself from suffering too badly at the hands of my neighbors? Let's turn England fascist. And let's try to turn France fascist. Nope, not gonna have enough, am I? I will have no political growth. So what I will have to do is wait for the extra research slot to finish, then see if I can get a political or silent workhorse so that I can get more influence. Get our fighter going. Import some tungsten. Now, if I'm right, all of that tungsten is coming from... It's not coming from down here? Is all that tungsten coming from Portugal proper? Oh, wow. It is all coming from here. Okay. I don't need to worry about the African colony center. Good news. I'm obviously not going to start with a war against Portugal. My first war is going to be Yugoslavia. I'm in no position to start a declaration against them. And those cav divisions are not going to be enough, even though I've got 22 of them. They just aren't strong enough. However, what I can do is that those cav divisions will upgrade. Get rid of the colonial division. We will add the light tank here. We cannot do the artillery yet. Alright, I wanted to hold on to that, but let it go. Ah, yes, extra research slot. I need that silent workhorse. Oh, please don't tell me I don't have a silent workhorse. Well, I can do 5%. That is terrible, but it's all I got. That's fine. It'll go up. Alright. Let's fix our oil problem, which will fix our... which will give us more factories back and let us start producing faster in here. I just need 2 factories back, which I can get if I stop trading those 2. So, let's go. And that'll fix itself. Alright. That way I know they're all in the same spot. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 3 armored divisions and I'm going to convert them to infantry, which will free up some of those light tanks. And those extra light tanks did I remember to switch my inner war bomber? I haven't finished it yet. Okay. Now I've finished it. You know, I've never looked at these. Don't need that. Tactical bombers are flexible, can perform both ground support and regular bombing. Yeah. We'll see what we can do with that. That might prove useful. Alright, let's stop the training. Get some Libyan refineries, which will pump more oil into this. Since we already got one back, that's good. That puts us so close to having that. And we'll be there soon. These guys will start training up, which will get them ready for the coming battle. Now, honestly, my mountain divisions, they're crack troops, but they aren't terribly good. I would rather convert them to regular infantry. But the mountain divisions have the bonus for the mountain that the infantry don't. I have no need for motorized. Then let's not use motorized. Instead, let's increase production of other things. Good. It is 37. I have nothing I can drop out yet. Alright, we're going to hold for a moment before we do anything else. We're going to keep growing. Good. What the? I tend to go light tanks, but honestly, there's a part of me that thinks heavy tanks would be a better option, because I'm going to be slow anyhow, so why worry about it? But if I do this, then I've wasted a research on the middle, and I need more resources. I need chromium instead of tungsten. I have a little bit of chromium. I'm going to get aluminum from here, and I'll get chromium from here. So the heavy tank is actually the way to go, because I will have the resources, so I won't have to worry about developing them. Let's start this. Either it works or it doesn't. Oh, I need 31 more political power. Alright, so I can't start that. Living oil. Get that infrastructure. Does that mean I can? It does. So, now I'm producing 2 oil refineries at a time. One very slowly. Let's start our carrier development, because we're going to need them. In the meantime, let's make sure we remember to upgrade our tactical bomber and our light tank. Do I want to stop influencing the UK? Or do I want to stop influencing? Well, France is about to go communist. Let's cancel the boost, and we'll let them go communist. They probably won't join the Allies at that point, which will leave them separate from England when the war begins. So I'll be able to declare on France independent of England, which will give me the opportunity to take France from the Germans if I'm not part of the Reich, or part of the Axis. And France will be my next target after I get Yugoslavia and have had a chance to integrate its factories into mine. Triumph in Africa, let's do that. And then I've got 2 researches to do. I'm doing carriers. I need carrier aircraft. So let's do the research. And do I have what I need to justify a war goal? 6 more. Interesting. Well, we'll see what happens. We can still knock the English out of it if we manage to push this hard enough. So we'll see what happens. I'm just going to keep playing it by ear. But that's where we're going to call it for now. We've not gotten far. We are poised for the war with Yugoslavia, though I do not at all think I have the troops necessary. And my commanders tend to agree with me. So what I may do is pull back these African divisions, because it is 22 extra divisions that I can throw into the line. And yes, they are only cav, and my cav is still not strong, but it'll do the job, I think. You know what, let's do it. We're going to pull them back from Africa for the moment. We're going to put these guys here. And we're going to put these guys here. We're going to stop the training. Alright. Alright, we've got everything where we need it. Those guys will move, and once they're in position, we'll be ready to start the war. Let's give them orders to match the forces that they are working with. Okay. And then aircraft, just to make sure I don't forget. Okay, now, everything is ready. Next time, all we have to do is wait for the war justification to finish, and our troops to get there, obviously, and then we should be ready to take Yugoslavia. After that, we'll try and pull in Albania peacefully, maybe declare war on Greece. If not, we'll go for Bulgaria, and hopefully we'll push the French or the British out of the Allies. Maybe one, maybe both, we'll see. But if I have to, I'm going to ignore this region in favor of this region. Because once I've got all of this, I'll actually be in a pretty good shape economically. And since I won't be part of the Axis and any of the insanity that happens up here, I'll be able to deal with this mess at my own leisure. But that's for another day. Until then, happy wargaming and good night.